This video is prepared with the intention to give our viewers a general idea of the cargo handling, storage, and fumigation of the Chilean fruit at the Port of Wilmington, Delaware. The Port of Wilmington is a full deepwater port and marine terminal handling over 400 vessels per year. It's located at the confluence of the Delaware and Christina River, 65 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. The port is owned and operated by the Diamond State Port Corporation, a corporation entity of the state of Delaware. The port facility includes 7 deepwater berths, a tanker berth, and a floating pier for roll-on roll-off vessel. This port facility has nearly 700 square feet or 10 million cubic feet of dockside temperature-controlled warehouse for storage of chilled and frozen cargo. This diagram illustrates the layout of the port facility, including 7 berths, 5 reefer warehouses A, B, C, D, and E, plus the dry warehouse F used in fumigation of Chilean fruit. Berths 1 and 7, plus the warehouses highlighted here, are the ones typically used for discharge or storage of Chilean fruit. This diagram shows a close-up view of some of the reefer warehouses with their loading docks arrangements. This is motor vessel Elvira, which has made fast to berth 1 at the Port of Wilmington. This is one of the state-of-the-art reefer vessels that was chartered by Pacific Seaways to carry Chilean fresh fruit to Wilmington, Delaware during the winter season 2002. Berth 1 is equipped with shore container crane fitted with 40-foot spreader and facilitates speedy discharge of the containers. The Pacific Seaways vessels, on an average, carry some 60 containers. Therefore, the vessel discharge their container at this berth and then shift to berth 7 to discharge their cargo in the compartments. Upon discharge, containers are mounted directly on chassis and are transferred to their respective storage locations. This is Warehouse F, a dry warehouse with some 250,000 square feet that facilitates most, if not all, the non-fumigated cargo. It is in this warehouse that more than 60% of the imported fruit undergo the fumigation process. This warehouse has the capacity to fumigate more than 3,700 pallets and is equipped with forced hot air to maintain the inside temperature around 10 degrees centigrade in cold winter season. As can be noted, the warehouse is well maintained and it's always adequately cleaned prior to each vessel arrival. The designated storage location of the cargo for each customer is pre-planned by the port personnel prior to vessel arrival. This shows arrival of the containers containing non-fumigated cargo at Warehouse F. As can be seen, the floor grading of the void space directly behind the doors are covered with heavy-duty cardboard in order to ensure adequate vertical airflow and prevent short cycling of the air. Also note use of airbag in the void space behind the doors in order to avoid shifting of the cargo. After receiving the cargo in the warehouse, the pallets are scanned by port personnel for identification purposes. The vessel has now been shifted from berth 7 to berth 1, where discharge of the cargo in the compartments takes place. Generally, discharge of the cargo in the cargo hold is accomplished by means of ship's gear, 6 pallets per draft. Here, we are illustrating opening of the hatch cover and general condition of the cargo in the compartments during initial hatch opening. As can be seen, the cargo is well and properly stowed with no evidence of shifting. The pallets in the hatch square area are pre-slung in order to facilitate breaking of the bulk and permit the forklift trucks to operate. Generally, some 40 pallets are pre-slung in the hatch square area. This is further illustration of the cargo condition during initial hatch opening in the lower compartment. Each hold in a refrigerated vessel typically consists of 3 to 4 compartments lettered A, B, C, and D from top to bottom. Note clean and good condition of the cargo, pre-slung pallets in the hatch square area, and filled void spaces with airbags. After breakout, the cargo is discharged on steel trays, and forklift trucks facilitates positioning of the cargo within the compartment. Typically, in large cargo compartments, such as the one here, 6 forklift machines facilitate extracting the pallets from the stove and positioning them on steel tray once it's lowered in the compartment without delay. Note the importance of wide hatch opening, sufficient overhead clearance, and sound condition of the floor gratings in efficient cargo operation. Murphy Marine Services is the stevedoring company involved in discharging the cargo for the Pacific Seaway vessels at this port. Their professionalism and productivity is outstanding. Productivity often exceeds 200 pallets per hour per gang. Here, Mr. John Chagan, president of Pacific Delaware Incorporated, and Mr. Gonzalez are supervising the discharge of their vessel. As can be seen, adjacent to berth 7, there's a fairly wide open area that accommodates staging and transfer of the cargo to the respective storage location. On average, the pallets would have to travel some 200 meters before they reach the storage area. Generally, transfer of the pallets from the quay to the staging area takes place with smaller forklift trucks, while the final haul from the staging area to the warehouse platform is carried out by larger lift trucks capable of carrying 6 pallets at a time. This illustrates smooth and professional cargo handling in preparation for fumigation process inside dry warehouse F while discharge operation is still in progress from the vessel. It also shows 5 fumigation tents suspended from the ceiling that are ready to be dropped for immediate fumigation process without delay once cargo operation is completed. These tents accommodate some 250 to 1,000 pallets each. This unique, large-scale and easy-to-operate fumigation equipment has been in use since the beginning of 2001 fruit season by Royal Fumigation Company. Among its numerous advantages, it eliminates any potential physical damages or fruit safety issues since the labor force does not come into contact with palletized fruit. The fumigation process takes some 6 hours, 2 hours for actual fumigation, 2 hours for mechanical venting, and 2 hours for natural ventilation. This part of the video illustrates condition after fumigation process, while mechanical venting of the air under the tent is still in progress. After mechanical venting, all warehouse doors are partly opened for natural venting. At this stage, fumigation and venting of the air within the warehouse is completed, and tents are being raised for cargo transfer to temperature control facilities. Here we are illustrating the fans under the tent that help circulating the air for proper distribution of methyl bromide. This year, Royal Fumigation Company began experimenting rapid cooling of the cargo in a large scale at the Port of Wilmington, Delaware, immediately post-fumigation process. This illustrates the reefer units used in the process of rapid cooling under the tents. Their outstanding effort in extending the fruit quality is admirable. During this process, aside from numerous temperature data recorders, some 12 thermocouples were inserted into fruit at various locations for instant monitoring of the fruit temperature. Walking of the personnel on top of the pallets is not a typical practice, but rather for inserting the thermocouples to monitor the fruit temperatures and placing plastic tarps on the pallets immediately before the evaporator fans to avoid dehydration of the fruit in the close proximity. Here are some of the hard-working crew at Royal Fumigation Company, typically involved in fumigation and rapid cooling of the fruit during the night. In fact, this is during the first trial of large-scale rapid cooling on March 8 of 2002. This is a view of the cargo under the tent while rapid cooling is in progress. This part of the video illustrates storage of the cargo in e-warehouse, a state-of-the-art cold storage facility commonly used by Pacific Seaway groups post-fumigation. Three customers mainly use the e-warehouse, namely Chiquita, Pandal, and Jamara. This is the Chiquita section of the warehouse. This is the Pandal section of the cold storage in E-building. It should be noted that E-building is 115,000 square feet of cold storage divided into 8 rooms, including 2 rooms with controlled atmosphere capability. The temperature of each room can be controlled separately. As can be seen, pallets are typically stored 2 tiers high. In general, the warehouse is maintained properly and housekeeping is adequate. This is the Jamara section of the cold storage in E-building. Aside from E-building, another commonly used cold storage by Pacific Seaway Group is Sea Warehouse, which is not shown here. We hope this video has helped you to better understand the operation at the Port of Wilmington, Delaware. Thank you.